the City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 233 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. Yes, we just keep moving up and getting better. Crazy results sometimes can start out frustrating, but of course, we always end up in where we want to be. So here we go again. We'll definitely review the last match. We'll cover pretty much what's coming up this week and early into next week. Yeah, it's a busy one today, that's for sure. Of course, before you can really get into the mix, we got to welcome back our brothers in arms. Welcome back, Bam. Welcome back, Tony. Tony, you're displaying something over there. What's going on, man?
Oh, it's my Mexican flag, of course. And I'm going to get crap for it because it is Cinco de Mayo, which is a national holiday in Puebla only, not Mexico. But again, we're in America, so it's technically a holiday over here.
So happy Battle of Puebla Day.
Exactly. And then, of course, people are going to give me crap because I'm wearing my Italian jersey. But again, I'm a mutt. So
heritage, man. Heritage. It is what it is. It's good. It's great. Be proud. Should be proud. It's cool. It's the American story, man. All the way. Bam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing quite well. Drinking one of my favorite drinks. Got a nice little pasito going. So passion fruit flavor. Very unique to Australia over here. So haven't had one for a while. So when I was getting some lunch, I'm like, I gotta grab a can.
And I'll take the boring route. I got my LAFC branded Diet Coke. What else am I going to do? Pepsi. I'll go vanilla. I'm sure Tony and even his cat has something better to drink tonight, but there we are. It's shaking his head at me. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to do things a little bit different this episode. We're going to start off with our breaking news before we get into the last match, because let's be honest, we want to talk about that stuff first. So, Tony, what is going on in the world of LAFC?
So, it's pretty much for the breaking news. It's pretty much our youngins. This is breaking news. So Christian Gonzalez and Joshua Santiago just finished up their national team training camp with Mexicans under U16. I know we only follow LAFC here, but I wonder how many more the youth in the MLS get more national kids into their youth programs in the national team. Because I feel like every other week, it's El Salvador, it's Mexico, it's USA. It's literally every nationality that we have on our team gets brought up into them. So our academy is doing really well, it seems like.
Yeah, it definitely catches the eyes of the national sides. It's refreshing to see that. There was a time where the United States, we were looking elsewhere to find talent, right? And now people are coming to the United States to find talent. It is an interesting twist. For the good or the bad, right? Honestly, it's still to the good of the players, right? They get their opportunities, they get their chances. It's a good thing. I saw with Mexico, they're focusing heavily on the youth that play here. Apparently, the Cal brothers in San Jose have been rumored to be courted by Mexico due to a grandparent. So, and they're taking citizenship. So it sounds like there'd be smoke behind that. So good on them. Good on all these players. If they get the opportunity and someone appreciates it and gives them a shot, take it. At the youth level, you're not stuck, right? You get your opportunities, so you might as well make the most of it. Get that training in. It's a little more experience, and enjoy it. It's a good time, that's for sure. But congrats again to Christian Gonzalez and Joshua Santiago, because you represent us every time you go out. So good on you guys. What else we got going on, Tony?
And then, as we said, I believe a couple pods ago, as Stater Brothers is part of our new partnership or sponsorship, Christian Torres is now pretty much the new poster boy for Stater Brothers. And also they're having a contest to win LAFC prizes or swag if you can enter. Joseph, the expert on Stater Bros, can you explain why Christian Torres was picked?
You mean my former employer? What? Long time ago, people. Long time ago. So Stater Brothers is from the Inland Empire, as is Christian Torres. And in the advert, you'll notice they talk about Fontana, where Christian comes from, and about not, always staying loyal to your roots, basically. And so since Christian Torres was raised in the Inland Empire, and that's where Staters comes from, it just became a good thing to link. And so they have the advertisement, it includes his family in there as well. And yes, they are definitely offering some prizes and opportunity and drawings and stuff. So definitely go to your local Stater Brothers, see what they got. Anytime an advertiser with LAFC actually offers something back to the fans, it's very refreshing. It's appreciated. So take them up on it. Go check it out, see what they're doing. But I know, Bam, you were watching the ad as well, right?
Yeah, I found it on YouTube. So a quick watch, nice little 30-second ad, which is good. Going by the website and all that, they've got 150 prizes every week up until the end of the month. So good chance for prizes. And looking at it, is Stater Bros a bit like Costco?
No, Stater Brothers is pretty much a traditional supermarket, like as traditional as it gets. They have an actual butcher and it's kind of old school, to be honest. Your classic American supermarket. That's what they do. They don't get too crazy with it. It's pretty standard.
So it'd be more like our Coles and Woolworths over here. So just a general run the mill.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not the low end, right? It's not like a warehouse store, but it's not like Whole Foods where everything's too expensive to actually buy. And it's definitely not like Amazon where you can walk out with the stuff without apparently looking like you're paying. No, they're pretty much check stand, your traditional. So again, if you're in the IE, they're everywhere. Some Orange County as well. That's where they're most common. But San Gabriel Valley, there's a lot of them too. I dig it. I still shop there. I'll definitely go check it out now that they've got LAFC stuff going on and supporting the cause. You can't help but do that. And good on them. Good on Christian Torres to see him get featured. He's certainly earned it in his process, coming from out of here. Good on them for sure. Tony, there's other sponsors to talk about, aren't there?
Yes, there is. So we have a new partnership with Socios.com. I believe I said that correctly. And I said partner because it is with 26 of the other MLS teams in the whole nation. Pretty much in the MLS nation. But so what this is pretty much is like your Rouse rewards, your Dunkin' Donuts rewards and stuff like that. Like you sign up, you register yourself, and you get new rewards every week, like exclusive virtual tailgates, things that you might not get usually. It gives you more incentive to maybe come to games, participate in certain LAFC stuff, maybe, and then also the other teams. I believe if I saw on Twitter, Chicago is one of them, and then SKC. So
interesting. Definitely go check it out. See if it's your cup of tea. But if they're back in the team, it's always worth giving a look. See, that's for sure. Right, Bam?
Yeah. I'm on the website now. Just having a look. So some of the other teams on there, obviously PSG, Roma, Galatasaray, Man City, Inter Milan, Leeds, Aston Villa, Flamengo, New England's Revs. You also got Palmeiras on there, River Plate. So some big teams on there. Italy national teams on there. So there's some big names on there.
Pretty cool. Another sign of growth, right? New sponsorship. That works. I know that we've also got some other things. I know, guys, we'll say it once and then we'll walk away from it. We do know the Sounders won the CCL. That's cool on them. That just means that we're going to shoot for the treble. I'm just going to throw it out there. No stopping us. We'll do our own glory. We'll make our own glory. They got theirs. We're going to get ours. That's for certain. And I'll leave it at that. I think that's enough for the breaking news on that, Bam, right? Right?
Seems about right, yeah.
And we're done with that. Yeah. Cool. So in terms of other stuff going on with community, Tony, there's some news leading up to the match on Saturday, correct?
Yes, there is. So of course, since it's a Saturday and it's a late game, FanFest is back, 4 p.m. If any of you have been into it, most of our supporters go there for the free stuff and go just to like get away from certain things. But it's like $7, I believe, beer, $8 cocktails, and most of our LAFC sponsors and MLS sponsors will be there to hang out. So again, if you're not comfortable with us, which we're pretty easygoing, then you're more than welcome to ease your way into FanFest and get some liquid courage.
Yeah, and I know there's some other stuff going on in Christmas Tree Lane as well that would suggest that you need to go check everything out this weekend, right, Tony? Big stuff in the Christmas Tree Lane. Why don't you share that with everybody as well?
Okay, so it is Mother's Day celebration at Christmas Tree Lane. So we're gonna be starting at 11 o'clock. We'll have at pretty much leading up to the game day, we will have different bands playing the whole time. Of course, we're also celebrating Cinco de Mayo out there because it's just a fun little thing to do, but it's mostly for the mothers. So 11:30 will start, about, I believe 11:30, 11 it'll be starting, and then from there on, every 2 to hour we'll have a new band or performer coming out. So it'll be a lot of fun. Everyone's joining in. Everyone's doing something. I saw someone's doing Philly cheesesteak sliders. I think BA is doing a buffet style Mexican buffet, and then of course
Pupusas, or I saw D9 News doing pupusas,
Yep.
which is going to be cool. And everybody's in on the music. I think three major bands is what we're getting, right? So
Ooh.
it's going to be pretty big. Like this one's going to be really intense, and there's going to be some others intense in the best kind of way. Total celebration. But there'll be some other surprises as well, as from what I understood, that we'll let them do what they do, the fam, because it's going to be a lot of fun. That's for certain. So don't miss it. Definitely come out 11:30 to 2:30. It kicks off, and as you see, the bands just keep going. Yeah, definitely something not to miss. And while you're out there, of course, there is a certain hashtag and mission that we need to do, right, Tony?
Yes, it is. Okay, hashtag scarves for good. Scarves
up for
up
good?
for good. Yes, scarves up for good. See, so people have been posting, but they're putting scarf instead of scarves. So that's why I'm emphasizing scarves up for good. And you just go to the scarf right in Pepsi Plaza, in that big little fixture that they have. Hold up your sign, and there's donations every time you post it. It's free to do. Now there's also more of an incentive. So there is also a North End ticket drawing versus Austin for 4 tickets in the North End Terrace. For most of you who don't know where that is literally above the 3252. You get to watch it, a nice view from it. All food and drinks are included as well, and also you get a post-match penalty kick experience. And all you have to do is do the hashtag scarves up for good and tag LAFC 3252, and this is your way to potentially get to go to the Austin FC game for most likely the battle for the first place in the MLS West.
As you see right down below, guys, we'll leave that up there for a while, just so you guys see it pretty much most of the episode, I think, today, because I need to remind myself as well and be a good boy about this. So yes, definitely go lift your scarf, do it in the North End Terrace. Pepsi's, again, fronting this, guys. Like, they are matching. They're doing amazing work if you let them. So yes, definitely go take your pictures up there. We saw a lot jump on. I saw Be Real go out there as well with Julio. Good on him for doing that. A lot of people out there doing it. So definitely we all got to follow through. So Scars up for good. This is for Mo. We got to get that field up. This is the best way to do it. And of course, the drawing's awesome, right? The Austin drawing is really cool. So as Tony said, follow through. Of course, that's not the only charitable thing we're doing. Tony, there's one other drive that we're up to as well, right?
Yes, we are doing lend a hand donation drives at the tailgate for BA. So at that one, we're doing toiletries. We're going to be doing all month. But for this game coming up, we are asking for travel size shampoo and conditioners, toothpaste, hairbrushes and toothbrushes, soap and lotions. And also, we monetary donations are also accepted during the game. So this is your chance to, again, we try to give back as much as LA has given us. We're trying to give back to it and make not just our city better, but the whole world better.
And there it is. So we'll keep that going as well. Black Army knows being very active in making this kick off. So good on them for doing that. Yeah, there are a lot of things that we can do. So definitely let's take advantage of it and do it. It's not that hard to go take a picture of a scarf, right, and put it on socials. So yes, let's make it happen. And we'll keep you posted as things develop. But again, we're looking forward to seeing everybody's pictures this weekend. It is a late kickoff, so you'll have plenty of time to knock that out since we don't get going until 8 o'clock. Wow, 8 o'clock kickoff. So yes, go take advantage of the long, crazy tailgates. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I will beg of you to hydrate. So we got you at full strength against the best team in the East. So you definitely need to be ready for that. All
So,
hands on deck. Yes, sir.
tequila, tequila, tequila. That's what I'm hearing.
And water, and water, and water. Yes. Alternate if you must, people. I mean, after tonight, I know a lot of you are going to be like, I'm going to hydrate for a week. So I get it. I get it. Just add into your Saturday. We'll get you where you need to go. Again, I look forward to seeing everybody out there at the tailgate. Let's make it happen. And donate. Donate where you can. Time is probably the most important thing at this time. And of course, showing your scarves. So, all right. With community all set, you know what you got to do. Let's get into the last match because honestly, this one was a doozy. It was a wild one. Dramatic is an understatement. This one was fun to watch and also torture. Minnesota came into town ready to go, ready to rip things up. Bam. How did their lineup look for this one?
So for their lineup, they went with a 4-2-3-1. So they started with St. Clair in the back as a keeper, who I'll talk about a bit later on. The defense was Lawrence, DeBarcy, Boxall, and Fisher. They had Rosales and Arriaga in the mid. Holloway, Reynoso, and Dan Lardy also in the forward mid, and Lod up top by himself. For us, we went with a 4-1-4-1. We went with Kripu in goal, obviously. Palacios for Murillo and Escobar in defense. Ilie with that defensive mid. Vela, Blessing, Acosta, and Apoku in the mid, and Chicho up top.
A little change, but a good change. It's nice to see Escobar back on the field doing what he does best. Again, I love the Escobar vibe. I love what he brings to this game. If you need edge, he can provide that. If you need good touches out of the back, he'll do that too. Rarely makes mistakes. Definitely steady back there. Does he go up as much as the others? Not as much. I think maybe that's because of what he's coming back from. But still, it's what you need back there. He was bottling those dudes up all game. So good on him to be there. We were wondering, but hey, he's back. Palacios, of course, ever since the San Diego match, he's become a bit of a conduit. It didn't change in this match in terms of the approach. He became basically a deep playmaker, overlapping at every time and adding that pressure on the other side and overloading, I mean, that was really what we saw. The 4-1-4-1 was definitely welcome, right, Bam?
Yeah, it's a no B rod formation. So
yeah,
with some other news dropping early today, will we see it next game? Most likely, but the 4-1-4-1 is the no B rod formation.
And in truth, for Uruguay, he's played left mid in a similar system. It might not change when he comes back either. He might just get that extra few yardage that we've always longed to see. So when he gets back, it might not change after all, especially with Ilie dropping back as well as he does and really keeping things stable back there. Approach, I mean, I would say that they came to play, we came to play, but we're just a little bit better. Okay, a lot better. And it proved that as the game kicked along. Tony, in terms of match highlights, let's get into it right away. Let's bring up what happened in the first half, sir.
It was a very just we said, we knew what Minnesota was coming to be. It's going to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. So it was. I think I heard in one of the highlights and videos of everything, it's just like we shot at every possible direction that we could and couldn't get the ball in that little square, little opening that we need to put it in, or the goal, as I like to say. But that's how ridiculous it was. I have to make up something really quickly to show it really fast.
Well,
But
yeah, by the end of it, it was 23 shots. So, I mean, you
yeah,
could tell where this was going. So,
exactly.
yeah, good stuff, Tony. So, what's our big moments? What do we got?
Ooh, the biggest moment is me and Joseph had a bet that LAFC would score first. Someone in the upper echelons, I'm going to guess Mo, decides not just let us score first, let's give it to Joseph's frontrunner for Golden Boot, Mr. Hollingshead. It was after a corner kick in the 83rd minute. Off a usual corner kick, gets knocked down, and who's there? Like always, Hollingshead, and just strikes it in, puts us in, and breaks the deadlock for 1-0.
Yeah, late in the game, after 8 million shots, 8 million chances, trying to break these dudes down, missing some crazy stuff, them missing some crazy stuff. It came to Hollingshead as a substitute. And the reason we're calling this episode Golden Eye, you're like, why Golden Eye? I know the advert, like the really cool match logo that we use or poster that we use was based off the Golden Eye video game. Dude, you guys are awesome for doing that. Media team, amazing as always. Jeff and AC Noho, right? I mean, that's if you go on their Instagram, that's you're gonna see LAFC Jeff and AC Noho. They're the guys that designed that thing. Super cool. Golden Eye, when I reference it for this match, the Golden Eye was, of course, the eye of Cherundolo. I was gonna go with Midas touch, but it's a little too obvious. So to me, Golden Eye, he sees it, he makes the changes, it makes sense. Like Hollingshead on the bench after all this time he's been playing, he's the guy that gets sat down. Yeah, Cifuentes, after all the work he's put in, Blessing gets the moment. And of course, the payoff is the payoff. Now, in terms of the Hollingshead goal, he said it himself. We have so many targets on this team. They're paying attention to others, so it gives me an extra space to do so, right? He said that in there. It made sense. He took advantage of it. But guys, he averages 5 goals a year as a left back. This is what he does for Dallas. And you know how Dallas was when he was there. They weren't the hottest team in the world, and he's still managing these goals. Now he's got all these weapons around him. Is he going to double it this year? He's at what, 3 now? He has the second most goals on the team. Yeah, that's right. A guy that we're platooning between left back and right back has the second most goals on the team, spreading the wealth. And so I made the bet to Tony, to you guys. Nobody really took me up on it, but still, it's there that Hollingshead would outscore B-Rod by the time this season was over. I didn't know B-Rod was going to get hurt, but I knew their averages were the same, right? So the way I saw it, knowing how he plays, I thought it was a safe bet, to be honest. Wasn't being too crazy with it. Let's hope B-Rod goes and proves me wrong when he comes back, but I don't think Hollingshead's done scoring yet, right, Bam?
No, definitely not. With the way that he has come on and changed the game up, he might overtake Vela. Vela keeps passing off. Vela's only got 4 for the season. He's on 3. Vela, you got the new contract coming, so
it's hilarious to me that we've spread the wealth. And we'll talk about in a bit about how much we spread the wealth this season. But yeah, Vela's got 4 goals and like 3 assists. That makes him the second, actually tied for top in assists as well. And then you realize there's 12 different goal scorers for the team right now. And wait, oh, that's why. It's more than a starting lineup, right? 12 goal scorers, and now you get it. Spread the wealth. They can't cover everyone. If everyone steps up, they're dead, right? You don't have a chance against this team if everybody keeps doing what they're doing. So keep it up. Hollingshead, of course, did it. Cherundolo brought him in just at the right time. Escobar didn't look so happy when he came out because, dude, it feels good to be back in the lineup. And did what he had to do when Cifuentes came in as well. Okay, that's the moment. And of course, 90th minute, Tony, what happens with Cifuentes?
So Fuentes ends up scoring off another. I think LAFC is trying to hashtag the bench mob because of how well our bench is doing. Because of surprising out of left field, Janela actually helped in this assist. But it's originally to Palacios, but MLS does hockey assist, and Janela was part of it. And it was a beautiful, as they're calling ticky-tack kind of goal, back and forth. I just saw Mark. I didn't even notice it because, again, I'm just so in the moment of doing what I got to do that the drums, we went into acapella, the drums hit as soon as Palacio touches it, the drum, and then we end up scoring with Sifu with the goal, and then they had a little dance at the end, but put us up 2-0, and it was just celebration. So the rest of the game was over.
I mean, we added to the drama in the North End. It was perfect. It was almost looked like it's scripted. Yeah, he mentions that we have 8 goals scored by substitutes this year, right? Which is most in MLS. And this is weird. Already the most in a single regular season in the club's MLS history. Most we've ever done. We just keep breaking records, people. That's what we do. Yeah. And so I gotta say that Janela pass, that little flick, where the heck did that come from? That is so that's Janela. I don't know what you're doing, Steve. I don't know what these training sessions how are you doing this? Last time we saw Janela, he was struggling against Orange County, and now he's flicking the ball past one of the top back lines in the league, and making them look like fools. Yeah, something's in the water. I'm happy with it, that's for sure. Right, Bam?
Definitely. It's light and day from last year to this year, plain and simple. And even just looking up some of the team stats at the moment, goals per 90 minutes. Who do you think's topping that list for us?
It was Tajuri Shradi as of last week, but now it's Hollingshead, right?
Nope, still Tajiri Shardy.
Yeah, I mean, he had it because of the madness in Miami and the wonder goal, right? Yeah, figured. All right. Yeah, so again, we spread the wealth. It looks good. 23 shots in total, not enough on goal. I'll just say that. Not enough got through, but they still got through. They still scored. They could have scored more. Opoku, I think, had an open net that he missed. There were a few moments there. There was a few lucky bounces that they got from us as well. We got lucky on one as well. I know, but you know what? That was the only chance they had all game, people. That was it. They didn't get nothing. That was what they got. They got one chance, and it's Load again, who, if you watch Minnesota play, it takes him 5 chances to do one decent one. That is just his way. He rarely gets one on the first. So just by squeezing the service there, yeah, he wasn't going to take advantage of that. Of course, honorable mention, of course, goes to Dane Sinclair. If they didn't have him in the net, probably would have been 4. I mean, I think that's a safe bet. It would have been 4. What do you think, Bam?
For me, it's if Willis didn't have our goals keeper sorted out right now, I'd say go after him. He was just having an amazing time in goals and all that. He's 24. He's got a lot ahead of him. He's represented Canada in one game so far. Yes, it was a 7-0 over Aruba, but he's got a big future ahead of him if he keeps going how he's going.
Yeah, he is pure quality, right? There's a few keepers in the league where you're just yeah, okay, he's got it. Dane's one of them. Andre Blake's another, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. And of course, there's Max. Max doing Max things, even in this game. It's not always the shot stopping, right? It's the other work. And Max does that, even in these games where he keeps the guys a little calm. He's communicating, keeping things going. Nobody's panicking. I don't notice panic. It used to be where our guys always look like they're panicked and can't let anything pass. And now it's kind of well, we'll take our percentages and whatever happens, happens. And the panic play doesn't really exist anymore. That's nice. That's perfect. That's what we need. That you can almost look like you're sleepwalking from the back and still get the job done. Because there's some moments that are a little sketch, but This match, not much in it, right, Bam? I mean, they look pretty darn stable.
They did at the back. Like, I don't know what's going on with them, with why they're so low on the ladder, if you look at that. But what they've got ahead of them is going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue was some cheapies, right? Cheap goals against, and yeah, that's why we have, the shutouts kind of went away, but now we're back into it. So now I got to keep it going again, and make it happen. Tony, any other things that stood out to you for the match that, like, whoa, okay, here we go?
Honestly, it was just mostly like our defense just like holding it tight. Like it wasn't like concerning. We do start off to a slow start, but it's also reassuring that we do have a tight defense to move forward. And like even the bench, which we'll talk about in the next game, what's going to happen with that, and we'll see how deep we are. We have the right tools to move forward. It seems like in the last interview I saw with Chindolo that they just posted, it seems that the players we haven't changed what we are. We've changed just the outlook of how we do things, and the players are actually buying into the system. And you can see it in these past games where we've only had one hiccup and we're already tied with what we've done with the 2019 team that we love so much.
And we look more comfortable than that team did, right? Way more comfortable than that team.
100%.
There was chaotic moments even at that point in 2019. Thinking supporter shield back then I don't think that was the real thought for us at the moment. We were doing good, but this year you're like, well, comparing, I like what I see here. I like the depth. I like all that stuff. So yeah, definitely good times. Now, Bam, how did the faithful see it? Where did they rate everybody in this game?
A lot of love for Ilie and a lot of love for Palacios. They're the only two they're the top two from this week, with Ilie with 14 votes from the fans, Palacios 11 votes from the fans. And then it goes down to Murillo, Acosta, Sifu, Hollingshead, Vanilla, and Janela. Both Vela and Janela only got one vote from the fans this week.
That's rare. That's very rare. When it was funny is I thought his performance was better this week than the last one for Vela in terms of being the distributor. But there was some weird.
Yeah. Only one person voted for him to give him that one vote.
I mean, he had some frustrating moments. I will say that final third stuff was a little bit sketch for him at times. But of course, all's well that ends well. There was some rough moments for him. But in the end of the day, he still did the job. I'm with everybody. Ilie every week seems to be like the man, right? It's just he again settles everybody, distributes, makes transition a lot more comfortable for everybody. Just knows where to be. Definitely a leader out there, but it's good to see. He's definitely given new life to his career in MLS this year. I was watching the MLS guys talk about it. Talking about power rankings and all that stuff. And they were like, we thought he was done and he's not done. And it's like, no, he's not. And he's not settling at center back either. That's what others thought he was going to be, is like the backup center back. And nope. He's anchoring this thing. And that's beautiful to see. I rated Hollingshead possibly getting the top 3 because, dude, he still scored, but Palacios, like I'll say it right now, Palacios has driven me nuts pretty much most of this season. He still makes mistakes that drive me crazy, but ever since the San Diego match, he's had a fire. It's different. The approach looks different. The confidence is different. He's finding his way. Defensively, I need more from him. That's just me being me. But dude, he's a playmaker from his role, and it's been wild to see how much faith that Dolo's put in him, and it's paying dividends. So all good on him for finding his way into the system and really taking a leadership role on the ball. He really is taking a leadership role on the ball. So good on him for that. I think, Bam, you're kind of in the same boat. Like, well, there's questions, but boy, he gave us some answers.
Definitely. Like for me, for my top 3 this week, I gave Palacios the 3 votes, Blessing 2 votes, and Hollingshead 1 vote. That's how I saw it.
Blessing. Now, why did you choose Blessing as the second star?
I just think his work rate, especially in the first half, was amazing. He kept running and all that, and he didn't slow down in the second half either until he got subbed off. So to me, with what he did in the first half and all that, it was just he was always there or thereabouts to score a goal in the first half. It was just those last little blocks and all that. So for me, he did enough to get 2 votes.
Agreed. And he again made Steve Cherundolo look like a genius by pulling the people he pulled to do his job and get it going. So good on him. Tony, your impressions of the match? Who are your 3 stars?
So I'll go from the bottom all the way to the top. So I'm gonna put Moose is as one point because he has the work rate. Honestly, if he continues this work rate producing and doing everything, I feel that he might get called up not for Macedonia but the U.S. national team. And I'm not saying starter. I'm saying like reserve, bench, something like that, 100%. Because he's producing.
Wild, dude.
Which brings a question about it is knowing with who will be the regular starters for the US national team, would it be smart for him to turn him down and go, no, I want North Macedonia?
There are things going on there right now that I don't know. I'd want to play, and I don't think the U.S. is going to get continual playing time, but Macedonia, he's definitely going to get playing time, right? He'll get into qualifiers. He'll get into that. Will he get into a World Cup with Macedonia? Maybe not, but he could get in. They could sneak into a Euro. I mean, maybe stretch, but the U.S. right now is going youth movement more than anything else. Not guys over 25, it seems, are the main focus, especially on the offensive side of things. They seem to go younger and younger and younger. So could he get minutes? Why not? Why not get a look-see?
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's a hard one. Hard decision for him, But I think it'd be a stretch if he went. But, we always want our guys to do the best they possibly can. And if he gets it, good on him. Good on him. Nice. All right, Tony.
So that'd be my 1 point. My 2, of course, is Janela showed up, did the work rate. He's playing at a different level. And then my 3rd is Palacios. And I feel it's also, I think Cherundolo has a soft spot for him. Again, going back to that interview with Vince, he talks about how he's trying to make him a better player. They both played the same position. He's trying to teach him, but overall playmaking ability, he's got it more than most people has ever had. He's seen.
Even Cherundolo, playing in the Bundesliga wasn't this wild, right? I mean, he did his job. He was a leader, no doubt. But Palacios is kind of just really, really right now. He's in a level that there's not many that can compete with him right now in terms of offensive output. Not from that position. The only other guy that competes with him in that, of course, is Hollingshead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, those are the two in this league. Those are the two, and they naturally play that same role. So Hollingshead is a guy that's been like, well, I'll shift. I'll take it, gets me minutes. So yeah, good on him. I also said with Moose, I kind of see a similarity between him and Dio. You're like, what? 2019, who was the guy that would come in when we needed him late?
Or Dio, sorry.
Dio, who's now showing to be that super sub? Moose. Like, what a difference a few years makes, now he seems to be that guy, and on his end, like, for survival, being a super sub's not a bad thing, especially when you get later in the year when guys start picking up funny injuries. He's the guy that's going to be fresh. He gets to the playoffs and guys get racked up, he'll be a little more fresh, hopefully. So he has a major role by being that guy, and to be trusted by the manager to come in and do that. That's amazing. Good on him. He's earned it. He's definitely earned it. And I think we all love when Moose is loose, right? And when he gets into that form, and now we've got it. So good on him. Now, moving on, we're going to transition into I know a little different today, Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute. We said that we would cover artists from the cities that we defeat, right? Or the ones that we played, since it's always going to be that, right? Who we played last. So since we had to play Minnesota, I could only think of one artist. There were others, but one that really you can't. Once you see his name come across, you're like, yeah, forget it. That's our artist. So for this week, I've chosen Prince and the Revolution. You're like, oh, I see what album is going to be. Yes, definitely. It's going to be Purple Rain. Came out June 25th, 1984. One of those epic albums and movies, if you've seen it, right? To come out in terms of rock opera, let's be real about this. Just next level. Get that album, enjoy it. It's got When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, Purple Rain, of course. Darling Nikki, if you've heard the Foo Fighters do that cover, epic, right? I Would Die for You, Take Me With You, and Computer Blue are just some of the major songs. But that album's just, yeah, if you've never heard it, just go listen. It's there. So we chose Prince because he's from Minnesota. So it just makes sense. Next week, we'll figure out a Philly artist. That won't be hard. Philly's got a lot of a lot of artists to choose from. But that is our choice. And with that, we're going to shift things over to you guys. Let's check at comments for the week. Yes, we're at the midpoint of the show, so let's see what everybody's got going on. Boom, boom, boom. Popping to the top. Anthony Bermudez, congratulations. You were the first to comment on the day. He wants to know about B-Rod's injury. Any news on B-Rod's injury? Good question, sir. He is still listed as being out this week, right, Bam?
Yeah, no. Ben put up a post on Twitter earlier today, saying that he's part of the players that are out this week, and with Murillo and Henry out as questionable this week.
There we are. So I guess it's a hamstring. That's what we understood it to be. And it's a long season, and we're going to need him for the long haul. So maybe they're just going to play it careful here. He's a big investment, obviously, in more than one way, on the field and also transfer potential. So you can't blow out that product when he has to pay dividends. That's for sure. And again, his safety and his health is the most important thing. So we'll get him back. Maybe he'll make a cameo against Portland in the Open Cup. Maybe they're saving him for that. Oh, yes. Maybe we'll see him there. Same with Segura's due back soon. So, yes, he'll be back. It's not a season-ending thing. I think they're just playing it cautious. Roberto in the mix saying, hey, yep. Got him here. Beast is in the mix as well. Good seeing you there. Hey, and there's Mark Lopez. Says Feliz Chicho de Mayo. He's turning it up this month. Yes, Chicho's the man, dude. Like, he looks ready. He looks happy. When I see Chicho smiling, I know he's going to be deadly. That's just his way. The happier he is, like when Vela's angry, he's better, right? His negative energy turns into positive results. It's the other way for Chicho. When Chicho's happy, then he's going to rip it up. Very happy right now. Probably seeing the kids run on the field and all that, as we saw after the game. He's in a good place right now. We're happy for him, and yeah, we're all paying dividends for that. We saw the commercial. Bam. Go for it.
One thing with Chicho, have to work on their dance routines a little bit better. If you saw after the second goal, they tried to.
Yeah, Mario needs to teach him some lessons, I think. Right?
Yeah.
He had it down. Yeah. Maybe that explains why you might be missing this next match, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Beast is in the mix, I see here. You like the commercial. I like the commercial. I love local investment, so even more so. Moving on, he says, happy Mother's Day to all the mums around the world. Yes, this is the Mother's Day preview episode, so happy Mother's Day to all if you're listening to this right before kickoff. As some of you do as a podcast. So again, all love to mothers. Can't wait for Mother's Day and to celebrate the pre-Mother's Day events on Saturday. So good. Bam, of course, I threw yours up there because I couldn't help it. Scars up for good. Let's check that out again, guys. Go in front of Pepsi Plaza, make it happen. LACBs where players hang out sometimes. Oh, what?
North End
I like
Terrace.
Roberto. What happened, Tony?
The North End Terrace. That's where they hang out most of the time because they're up there.
Up top. I
Mhm.
see. No slipping up there, boys. Need you healthy. Roberto Espinoza, beer counts as hydration, right? Yes, to a point. Ox apparently is still awake. Happy to hear you're doing okay, man. I know it was a little sketch last week with the weather. Got a little dangerous there, but man, happy to hear you and the family are all right. All love, brother. Roberto Espinoza, man, I feel like Dolo is being out. The best players have struggling for a while. Palacios, Pancho, B-Rod, pre-injury. It's good to see. Yeah, dude, a player's coach, a pragmatic coach. That is what he is, and it is definitely showing. Mark Lopez, the drums dropping out with a cappella singing, multiple passes, then Janela backheel pass, and drums drop back in when Palacios touches it, then pass to Sifu for goal. It was like a movie. Yes, it was. It was dramatic as can be. Classic LA, right? This is like your Hollywood ending right there. So love it, man. Good eye, Mark. Definitely. And we were feeling it at North End too. When that thing dropped, like there was an energy. Really, the North End had an amazing energy this week. They really did. It was extra special. They were lit up. The trumpets, and having the guys do that was a little different, but honestly, it looked like there was some payoff related to that because the energy was right. The energy was good. It is fun to be in the North End right now. There's no question about that. So well done, Mark. Robert Espinoza says, just waiting for our first half luck to swing in our favor. Last two games could have been 3 to 4 goal games. Yeah, it was pretty wild there at times, but nobody really panicking. Just we're being in it. We're doing it. We're making an active game. I'd suspect a little more patience in the next one, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Good on you guys. Love the comments. Keep them coming. That is for sure. We enjoy everything you guys bring to the table here. Speaking of comments, let's throw that up there right now. Bam. Tony, you want to talk about our new format and new show that we're talking about? I know Tony wants to hide from this right now. You shouldn't. You should be proud. It was cool. Who wants to talk about it? Because that was awesome.
So as most of you who are on a Tuesday, we'll try to do it every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on moving forward with our US Cup run. We could be playing on a Tuesday, but we are doing a live call-in show in a Discord kind of way, where our Discord is there for not just the call-in show, but to any questions for us, just talk LAFC, talk world football, anything. And it's just more of just an easygoing, just chatting up with your buddies over a beer and stuff like that. And we'll bring in people if you guys want to talk, and don't even worry. It's just questions that you have concerns with, we have concerns with, and we just talk it over in a very dignified format. And we do not know how long, as in episode longs. We could go for an hour, we can go for 2 hours, depending on how much engagement we go with you guys. So we're making time for you guys. Since you make time for us, we'll make even more time for you guys. Anything you like to add,
this
Bam?
is a show. Yeah, Bam. Tell them how it is, man. Because new format,
That
different
person,
style.
that person has it on there. Obviously, the last episode had some audio issues on my end, which I didn't hear until after it. So I'll be hopefully fixing that for the next one. Completely new way of doing it. Put the Discord link, so we'll be putting that up. Make sure you get on there. Ask us questions in there. We'll put you in live. You can chat to us live. We are mainly a LAFC 1-2, but we'll talk about other little things like what's happened in Europe, like big news there and all that kind of stuff too. So we are branching out a little bit more from just the black and gold. It'll be the world football in a black and gold tinge.
Yeah, and again, a little different vibe for the LAFC faithful because this is a call-in show. Yeah, right? It's one where your voice will be heard, just like what we're doing right now. Bam's going to bring you up and you're going to actually get to speak. And I was the first one on there because I just couldn't help myself. And so it was really cool. Format was like regular radio where you got to turn down your side or else you echo to death. Yeah, I was the first to experience that moment, like singing national anthem in a stadium. But it was really cool. And for you brave volunteers that went after me, dude, you guys rocked. You really did push the episode forward. Yes, it was intentionally short because again, we're testing this thing. Uh, but it was good. I was super happy with it. It's only going to get better tech wise as we get used to tweaking that. Because again, not that many, if any, LAFC call-in shows actually function right now and exist. We're the ones. We're doing it. Of course, Bam. Do we even mention the title of the show? I think we forgot to.
Of the last
Title of the show.
new show.
No, it was called off. The title of the show is called Off the Rails, as in the North End, as in we go crazy, as in some things just go off the rails and we just keep rolling with the punches.
As we do sometimes on this episode, and we'll go off the rails. And that one is off the rails because again, there is no script. There is no run of show. There is no bullet point to hit. It's you guys. You direct where we go on these episodes. And so, yes, Bam and Tony are kind of leading the charge, definitely leading the charge and really changing things up and getting us one more way to get to you guys and to hear from you guys. So take advantage of it when it comes back up. But yes, LAFC 3252 love. And of course, Heart of LAFC off the rails. So again, tune in. We'll promote it. You'll see it. Twitch is where you can find it. Discord is where you can add in your voice comments. Join in, sign in, follow the directions, make it happen, and we'll see you on the next one. That is for sure. Right, Bam?
Definitely.
Nice. All right. Let's move it on forward. I know why you guys are here. You want to talk about, of course, the next match, the big match. I wouldn't call it a grudge match, but it is definitely the biggest test that we've had so far this year. And you're like, well, we went to Carson. This is the toughest team that we've faced so far. This is the hardest battle we'll have. Yes, it's at home, but nothing is guaranteed in this match. This is one of those few teams in the league that can hurt us in our house. Quite literally, this, to me, is the one team that really does match up to our system almost like for like an approach. Yes, their formation might look a little different, but their approach is very similar. And it's almost 2019 LAFC-esque in the way they approach the game. It's going to be a tough one for us. This is really a collision course. Looking at it, Bam, how are they looking right now and how are they matching up with us?
They are best in the East at the moment, Philly. Their last 3 games haven't been that great. So they have 2 draws and 1 loss in the last 3 games. They had a 2-1 loss to Toronto, a 1-1 draw to Montreal, and their last game was a 1-1 draw to Nashville. A couple of the highlights from the last game was opening of Nashville's new stadium, which does look quite nice. It is quite a nice stadium. They scored first, but Nashville ended up with a penalty in the 84th minute to give them the lead. And then in the 90th minute, Penza and VAR, don't know what was going on there. It was a handball, clear as day handball. But was after watching the VAR, Penza's like, no, I'm sticking with my original decision, not a handball. So we'll be interested to see what the Pro Refs YouTube channel releases this week. I've actually gone into
they're not that special. They save those for us.
No. I've actually gone into a bit of a deep dive on their YouTube, and they do actually do a weekly. The head of VAR comes out and does a weekly little highlights show. It's interesting. It's interesting to say the least.
I mean, it's talking points. They're not really defining things. They're talking points to make them sound better, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But being able to hear the audio from the booth and the ref at the same time does bring into another option of it. Like me personally, I don't know about you guys, but I'd love if MLS 2 days later after the game release the game footage with only the ref's audio. They will never do it, but I'd like to sit down and listen to it.
I'd be scared to find out because if he's mic'd, you can just imagine what the players are saying to him in these moments. And I think it would be shocking to all of you guys. Because jawing in MLS towards the refereeing is on another level. Like it really is. They're pretty harsh on the refs here, more so than you'd expect. And you're like, how do you get away with that? It is pretty wild, the stuff that's said. It really is. There is a show on Paramount Plus that covers Champions League referees out there, and that one goes deep into it with the audio and how VAR works. And that one probably be a better way of seeing how it's supposed to be done, and yeah, to really see how it is. So check that out. I found that one more enlightening than anything I think pro's ever going to bring out. So, and then I know there's some leagues where they have to explain it when they use it, right? Bam. Like in the moment.
I believe there are some, which I'd like to see more of being all around the world. Like, I know next year Scotland's going to get it for the first time, VAR. They had a vote recently, and all but one team said yes to it. The one team that said no to it wasn't even the top flight team. They're about 2 divisions below. Said we want to keep their reasoning was they want to keep the purity of the game.
What's their name? Dark Arts FC? Like, dude,
I'll find it and I'll let you know.
Got to get their scarf now, just because they had to be that one team. Yeah, there it is. Die on your hill, man. It's all good. It's all good for you. Yeah, so back to Philly. Yeah, they probably should have lost this game due to another handball. Definitely more obvious than what we suffered through with Penso before. In terms of run of play and all that, though, I mean, they had their moments. They definitely had their moments. They were held in the game for most of it because of Andre Blake. And Tony's going to talk about him, I'm sure, in the good, bad, and the ugly. But run of form wise, yeah, it hasn't looked that good, but they haven't played bad in any of these games. At least that's my take, right, Bam? They look good. They're just not getting the points.
Yeah, no, they do look good. Like the games have been good games. How they've not had more wins than they have, like losing 2-1 to Toronto, 1-1 to Montreal, who are going to have another rebadge soon. I read last night that they're going to do another badge. So, yeah, they're not going too bad. Like, I don't understand why they're like they beat San Jose 2-0, they beat New York City 2-0. So
at
why
New York City.
At New York, exactly. Yeah. They beat Montreal in Montreal 2-1 near the beginning of the season. So why are they going off? Don't know.
From what I can tell, at least what I'm thinking, it's because of the change in the lineup or the new faces in the lineup. They are a strong team. They're strong everywhere, but there's guys that don't have a lot of minutes with this side. And that does affect things, especially up front. And we'll talk about those guys in a minute. I think that would be where we throw it to you, Tony, for the good, the bad, and the ugly right now. Go for it, man. What do you think's good for these guys right now?
What's good for them? Nothing too much against us, to be honest. Like, let's just be honest. We are unbeaten. They can't beat us. We've beaten them in all 3 matches since our first meeting in 2018, before the draw in 2019 and 20. So they've never beaten us when we played them away or at home. And it just, again, we are on a 2019 run again. We have the best starts since club history, since 2019. Only 4 more teams have gotten these many points at this stage of this MLS history. We don't talk about one of them. And the other one is Kansas City. And then the Union earned a 1-1 draw from last time, taking 18 points to the most in most games through 9 games in their season. So they're doing pretty well overall. But they've only won 4 points on the 27 they've only won 4 games in like pretty much all the time they come to out west. So I guess that time zone difference is pretty bad on them. And the last thing is pretty much is I'll give it. This is more of a Joseph stat for him. LAFC's gotten goals from substitutes Hollingshead, Cifuentes in the final 2 minutes. But again, this is the most in MLS. And already in single season for the club as well.
And lest we forget, who took the supporter shield after us, guys? Philadelphia. Okay, it went to Philly. I know we delayed the shipping. Sorry, guys. You had to use like a windshield cover. I know. Sorry. It happens. Talk to the post office. Yeah, so they've been good. They've been consistently good. If you really look at the two clubs, like there's some real similarities. And in this case, again, before this draw against Nashville, it's been their best start in their club's history too. So we're both in this collision course where they're feeling good about things. Yes, the latest results have been sketch, but things happen. They're still playing well. They still have one of the best goalies in the league. He's elite. And you got us, and this is collision course, and both feel like they can take this game. And so it's going to be a very, very interesting battle. It is what this is going to be. The one weird thing that I've noticed with them is they're not big on holding up the ball and maintain possession. They're one of these teams that likes to just go at you. And if it goes out of bounds or, they get an odd shot and it's not the greatest shot, they'll take it. They don't really hesitate on that. So in terms of possession, they're more of a team that's built on the counter and killing you on transition. I know these are words that scare us every time. Counter transition. Oh Lord, last year that would have been scary. This year I'm not that scared. But they only average about 40% possession in their games. That's low, man. 39 is actually what it is. While we average about 54. So you can already tell what this might turn into for this game, right? Trap, counter. That's what they're going to look for when they play us. In terms of shots, though, not that far off. We average 16.6. They average 11. The shots on goal, pretty even there. We're 5.8. They're 4.7. So it's looking at shots on goal, even though they surrender possession to catch you on counterattacks. That's what they do. That is the system. More to follow. We'll get into it. Now, in terms of what they've got, bam, who stood out to you this season? Who's really the show right now?
For me, with them, obviously you got Gazdag up top. He's the top scorer. Santos is the top assist. So with those two, they're the big ones really got to look out for.
Yeah, Gazdag is basically their controlling midfielder. They're central attacking mid. Backed up with Martinez behind him, it's pretty formidable there. It's going to be a tough day for us at the office when it comes to central mid. It is interesting that Gazdag is the leading scorer, though, right? Because really the money's in Carranza and, of course, the new guy, Ure. Those are the money men now. And so those got your guys up top. Looking further down it, Ale Bedoya is going to be on the right side of your midfield. Leon Flock, the German, American. Yeah, he played for St. Pauli. He'll be on the left side. Pretty consistent there, but the back line is their real story. And I'm going to say this is where it gets tough for us. They don't break down very often. They have Glesnes and Elliott in the middle. That's your hardcore, like, really solid center backs. And then you have Hariel, who's a younger player, but he's really showing up this year. He'll be your wing back pretty much on the right side. He's listed right back, but he moved up. And then Wagner on the left. And so it's a 4-man back. Basically, a 4-1-3-2 is what you're going to look at. And of course, the real story for me, and it's going to be the thing that drives us crazy when we play teams with elite goalkeepers. Yeah, it's Blake. Blake is, to me, is the best goalkeeper in the league. I don't care what anybody says. I love Max, but Andre Blake is in his moment right now. I don't think you can get much better than what he's putting out there. Max is a challenger in this, but to me, Blake, I look around, there's nothing like him. Really. I'm that high on him as a goalkeeper that he's really next level. Bam, are you kind of in that realm as well? Like a little scary good?
Definitely, definitely. I did just have a look, and they've released the refs for the game. So
Mm-hmm.
for our game, we've got Marufo.
Oh no.
So looking at some of the stats, Philadelphia's never won away with him being the ref.
What? So they're more mad than we are. But how do we
Yep.
fare with him?
At home, as him as a ref, we've had 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw at home overall with him.
Okay.
So, but
Cards
they've
and
had
penalties?
cards and penalties with him. For us, looking it up at the moment, fouls per game 12.
Oof, okay.
At home, fouls per game over the 4 games at home over the career is 11.75, with 3 yellows with an average of 0.75 yellows.
Okay. And then in terms of fouls, that's pretty much what we do. We're averaging 14 this year, so it's not like it's above. That's pretty much good. That's average. So interesting. Usually we always get the short end here, but guess not. Philly's got to do something special with him. Now, are they a special side? Yes. Are they a different side this year? Definitely. You're like, there's not that many changes. Yeah, there's enough. I'm telling you, the Kranza Ure setup, if that starts kicking off, the league's in trouble. And for Ure to get off of the Schneid and finally get one, he's capable of being a league leading scorer. He's done it elsewhere. So uh, are they the prettiest goals? No. He's one of these guys that hits you on the counter. He's fast. The exact same system they want to play. They just bought a player that fits perfectly into that. They let Shabilko go because he wasn't a speedster. He wasn't going to run things down. He's a target man. And now they found a guy that can run the ball down on a counterattack. He is transition trouble for everyone they're going to play once he finds his way. And he's starting to show that now. So yeah, that's going to be tough for us. It's going to be a little bit scary for us at times. Again, definitely they're not going to sit back. They're going to counter us every chance they get. They're okay with that coming back, and this could be a foot race. If it does, we'll be kind of in danger zone. Now, looking at the rest of the roster and looking at other games, really the roster's pretty consistent. I don't see a lot of changes. Bam, when you're looking at the last 3 matches, you're not seeing much difference either, right?
No, I'm not. We've also got no major injuries, so I don't expect any of the players to be missing. Had a quick look. No one's out for yellow cards either for disciplinary, so looks like they'll have a full strength side.
They're at full strength. So that's an interesting vibe. I forgot to even mention Martinez, who's been talked about as getting moved off already for big money. But again, the war is going to be in the midfield, especially knowing who we've got. Now let's bring it on to LAFC and what's going on with us. Who's in, who's out for us this week?
So the outs for us this week are the usual suspects. So Segura's still out, Duna's out, Gaines out, B-Rod's out, Lissa's out too, Ismail Shadi's Lissa's out, Henry and Murillo are listed as questionable. Now, for me, if you're listed questionable, you're out. That's the way I see it at the moment. I just don't, with our team and our depth and all that, I don't want to risk a questionable injury becoming a permanent injury.
Especially for a guy like Murillo. Nope. So I know our bench has been pretty good. Is it just simply Ibiaga's coming in to play with Fall for this one?
That's the way I see it. That is the way that I see it.
Man. And maybe at a point Ilie will play deeper than he normally does just to kind of compensate at times. I will say this, with Ibiaga, I do value Ibiaga. I think he's a good defender. I know he got kind of some drama from Cincinnati, but the situation was really unfair for him. It really was. He wasn't looking to come in that first half. There's no way. And then he had to come in pretty much cold. So That's a tough ask. I think he'll be much more stable this game, guys. I really do. Um, yeah, definitely different vibe. Now, in terms of our form so far, we all know where we're at. Only one loss and only one tie. Everything else was wins. We're on a 3-game winning streak. So we have the potential to have our longest winning streak of the season if we can get a win this week. Because we haven't strung more than 3 together yet. Like, that's a bad thing, right? I mean, stringing 3 together. But that's reality. Things that also stand out. I mentioned 12 players scoring a goal. Here's the other fun one. 10 different players have assists this year. Right? 10 guys have set up goals? Like, what is going on here? Remember the old days where we're relying on 3 guys and if Vela goes down, oh, well, let's look for the draw? No, that's not the story anymore. And that, of course, brings us stats, and Oban was mentioning it. Yes, Vela is the leading scorer with 4 goals. Hollingshead right behind him with 3. Orango with 2. Cifuentes with 2. Moose with 2, right? 2, I think, right? If I'm seeing that right. And then the assists are fun too because your Palacios, he's got his 3 assists, but who's right behind him? That's right, Carlos Vela, also with 3, followed by Blessing and Cifuentes. The guys alternating starting roles as we see now. Really, really interesting to see where the ball is coming from. Definitely, they love coming up the left-hand side, right? Right? Seems pretty obvious there. But that's good too. In terms of players playing pretty much every game, looks like Acosta's been there, Orango's been there, Blessing has shown up for as a substitute or a starter in every game. And Sifu's been in every game. So there's a few others, right, that we know. But it's good to see the consistency in terms of appearance. It's good to see that we can rotate the lineup and survive. In order to call those starters for this game, I have to say it. We have an Open Cup game in only a few days, right? Like a very short turnaround to an Open Cup match. Is there a chance that we rotate the squad a bit for this match for the sake of making a run in the Open Cup? Keep that in mind as we talk about our potential lineups. But Tony, Bam, I'll start with you, Bam. Do you think there's going to be added rotation to the lineup simply because, well, we got Portland in a few days?
I do, but it's hard to say because if Austin was playing before us, it would make it a lot easier, but they're not playing till the day after us. So do we want to keep the best in the West? So if we already know the result of that game, then it would have a massive idea of what we would put out in the starting 11.
Now, would you sacrifice first place for now to take out Portland in a few days?
Yes, I would.
Okay. You would. All right. Tony?
I wouldn't make any changes. I feel that our depth in the bench is okay, so that we can even still compete with Portland moving forward. So I understand it's a long season, and of course we want all the Cubs moving forward, but I kind of also want to stick it to Austin with their little breakfast burritos in the morning BS that they always put on Twitter. So I wouldn't change too much. Again, maybe like we knew B-Rod was hurt before this, so maybe we are just putting him more cautionary to use him against Portland.
And then we'll have rotation with Murillo as well. Again, they're listing questionable. Like Bam said, they're not playing, man. Why? The other benefit where you could pretty much afford to throw everybody out there is we do have 5 substitutes in this game, right? 5 is now proving to be the best thing around because you can now limit everyone's minutes that are impact players. If we're doing okay in the second half, get them out of there, and so that's a chance. So, like, I would say Vela, pretty safe bet we're not getting 90 from him in this game. No matter what's happening on the field, it's not going to be close to 90. Tony, you think that's a safe bet?
100% safe bet. I totally agree with you. There's no way.
No way. No way. And of course, the young kids could probably play both games and not even think twice about it. It's enough span for them. So Palacios would be like, we're good. Hollingshead, on the other hand, and Escobar, platoon time. That's for sure. Both get some minutes. Someone's going to be more fresh than the other. And we go. Yeah. So I'm still thinking maybe some sort of movement. Let's go with predictions. Bam, who do you got on your back line for this one?
Backline, I'm going to go Escobar keeps his spot. 4 keeps his spot. Palacios keeps their spot. With Ibiaga coming in. I can see Hollinghead's coming in for either Escobar or Palacios again, depending on what happens during the game. I can see that. So that's my backline would be Escobar, Ibiaga, for Palacios.
There we go, with the first sub being Hollingshead no matter where we need him. Okay. I'm with you on that. Of course, we know Max is starting. There's no question there either. We love McCarthy, but not for this one. Not for this one. Midfield. I'll start with Tony. Predictions for mid.
The same as what we said: Sifu, Ilie, and Acosta. Sorry, I just blanked on his name because I was thinking thinking maybe changing it up and put Janela in, but then maybe use Janela as a he's earned at least maybe a start for Portland. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like maybe so.
I'm kind of with you on that. I think not with Janela starting. I think you're right, though. I think Blessing sits on this one as the super sub for this match, and Sifu gets to start. It's just for multiple reasons, because of that transition game, a little more defensive because they need to get back. They will get countered in this one, and Blessing is not known to be the defensive specialist that tracks back when needed all the time in a transition foot race. So it could kind of make sense as if Fuentes gets that role. Bam, your midfield?
I agree with those 3. If you're going to do the 4-1-4-1 again, I'm gonna chuck in, like, obviously Vela will get a start, but I'm sitting Opoku.
Really? And who goes in there then?
Moose
as a mid?
As that wide winger mid. Straight swap.
Oof. Interesting. Blessing has played out that way before, right?
He has. But for the way that Moose played, I think he deserves a start. Give him a start, see what happens. You can always sub him out and put Opoku in. So for me, I'm going to go give Opoku a little bit of rest. He started a few games, so give him a little rest and make sure he can start for Portland.
And Chicho up top?
Chicho up top.
Right. It's not debatable, is it? It's Chicho up top. Watch Dolo surprise us and go, I think I'm going to throw Moose up there for now. And if we're in trouble, we'll bring in Chicho. He gets to rest today. And Moose gets his moment up top. Target man.
Could see that.
Put it past him. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him to try this, especially since he's earned the reward, like Tony said, and that would give a chance for either, Opoku or Chicho. Somebody's going to get a few minutes off, and maybe come in if they're really, really needed in the second half, right? Insurance policy. And same with Vela. Like, in reality, you start Vela, but you take him out, and that's when Opoku comes in, right? Move it around a bit, shift it around a bit. It's interesting. I still wouldn't be surprised if Blessing gets the start even on the out left wide, because he can play it. It keeps other people fresh. So, and then 2 guys get a rest going into it. And if we need them, we really need them. The 5 subs are going to be an absolute godsend this week. That's for sure. Any other surprises that might get their way into the lineup? Maybe. Even as subs, maybe in the back line. One of the kids maybe get some minutes.
Christian maybe up front.
Got the advertisements now.
Yeah.
As a late sub, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. We'll see. This is a tough one, guys. This is one of those few games where I usually feel bullish, and I don't feel as bullish in this game. Cautious optimism, but cautious is the name of the game. I do feel that this team, the way they're built against us, it could get really funky in the first few minutes. And I know they were talking, I guess, in the press conference about how they try to hit early on teams, right? And that's where we slow start. So there's this issue there too. Bam, are you concerned at all?
No, I think our defense can hold it. And with the 4-1-4-1 we're playing, our defense has been really good. Like, I think that we can, if we keep going on the last game where there was no goals in the first half, there was no injury time in the first half. Like, when was the last time that happened for us? There was no injury time in the first half. It was 45 and done.
Yeah.
Exactly. If we can keep that going, I would be quite happy.
Did you know, comparing both teams, the passing accuracy for our team is at 82 and theirs is 67? It's like long ball stuff, right? Yeah, I'm trying to look here just to see a few things in terms of fouls, in terms of where we get into some trouble here. Against this team, again, everything leans towards us, of course, except they can out-tackle us. So if it gets grinder, we get into trouble against them. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think in terms of predictions, we don't do that, but run a play, I do expect a foot race. I do expect a back and forth. I do expect a lot of drama, but I think we're going to be a little more on the front foot from the early stages. I don't think the slow start's in us, especially after the excitement of the last match. I think it's a different story this match. I wouldn't be surprised at a 0-0 first half. I kind of almost predict that to be the case. Bam, do you think high scoring, low scoring? Where's your head at?
I'm going mid-scoring. I don't see 0-0 at halftime. I see us taking our chances more in the first half. Last game, they got lucky with defenders in the right position, just blocking balls and didn't get quite to the keeper. And St. Clair had an amazing game. I don't see us coming up against amazing keepers 2 weekends in a row. I can see what St. Clair stopped last week won't get stopped this week.
You think with Blake?
I'm hoping Blake has an off day. I'd like to see him have an off day. But some of the saves that St. Clair did last game were amazing saves that, Blake could make on his day. But whether he's on his day, I don't see that being happened this time. Having to travel all the way over.
Could be. I just know we're in for a good heavyweight fight against a brawler from Philly. What could go wrong? It should be fun. Tony, your thoughts on how this thing could play out? Not score-wise, but just do you think we're in a slugfest? There's going to be a lot of goals, or?
I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be. I think we're going to see another Minnesota game, 100%. Another strong keeper, the best in the MLS keeper-wise. So we're going to need all our guns, all our ammunitions, whatever we have in our reserves to go forward, moving to beat them. Hopefully not too much, because we need to save that for Portland moving forward coming up. But I believe it's going to be another Minnesota. So expect a lot of frustrations moving forward.
Yeah, I expect some bruises in this game, even more against Portland because they play like animals. But we'll see. I don't think we're going to benefit from those early sub outs to rest people. This is going to be a battle, and it's just how it's got to be. Anything else to add, boys? Where take it to the fans, take it to our supporters, and what they think about what's going down. No, you guys are good.
We are good. So.
All right, let's hear from the faithful. Let's jump. We got a few comments. Boom. Let's see. Mr. Roberto Espinoza says, just waiting for our first half luck. We said that last time. How about this one? He's happy about Twitch, guys. He says, oh, snap, a Twitch show. Is it just me or have the refs just terrible all over the league? Yes, they're terrible all over the league. 100% bad.
That being said, though, the ref for our last game had an amazing game. He let a lot of scope, a lot of free flowing. It actually was really well refed. And that ref was Alan Chapman.
He's done our games before. I think we've had some glory against Carson with him as a referee, if I remember correctly. So yeah, he's one of the better ones. I mean, he's gone places, that's for sure. Let's see. Roberto Espinoza says, I take a loss to Austin to beat Portland, but Austin, nah, I wouldn't take a loss, but I think Austin's due to lose one. Honestly, I think they're going to get put in check eventually here. Just going to happen.
Well, Austin does play Carson this weekend.
But in Austin, right?
In Austin. And Portland are playing away to New York Red Bulls this weekend.
They're going to get hammered.
Their game's just before ours, too.
They're going to get destroyed. Because if you guys watched Portland this year, it ain't so hot. They got some issues. Real issues with that lineup. Because they play that dirty ball, man. And I thought they'd have some injury stuff. And guys do playing with a knock. It's happening. I think just as we predicted, it's happening to them. They're getting tired already because that system is not sustainable. But I hear they are bringing a new soldier into the ranks, so we could talk about that as we go. But I know we're not gonna have really an episode before that match, but you know us, we'll find a way to get to you guys. You know how that goes. Anthony, how do you feel about our third DP? Who do you want as a third DP? I'm broken record on this. Central attacking mid, just any sort of central mid, somebody can control things, set up some chances. That's what I want to see. Bam.
It's hard. Like last year, we could rattle off lots of names. This year, you sit there and go, "But if you bring in this player will sit, but they're having a great season. Do we want that?" It's hard.
Yeah, because if you bring a guy in who sits, Acosta, Blessing, Sifu, like those are the guys you're talking about. It's really hard chemistry-wise, to bring someone in. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a transition. Pick your poison, right? Let's see. Let's go to Hawks has a comment, guys. It says, yeah, it's late out here, but I can't miss the show. Thanks for checking in. Yep. I did give him a call because our boy, man. Is it scary? Not gonna lie. Thankful we're all good. We're thankful you're good, man. I know that got way too close, but you're safe. That's what matters. He says these late night matches insane though. This weekend's match is gonna start at 10 p.m. their time, out in Kansas. Yeah, it's late, man. It's late for us. 8 o'clock's late. I know. I'm acting like an old man.
Beautiful 1 p.m. kickoffs Sunday.
So yes, the Australian market is locked in, people. There it is. That's where the ratings are coming from, right there. Carlos C. Wouldn't be worried about this game if it wasn't for Portland game on Tuesday. Dolo needs to rotate the squad. He does, man, and it's an expense with that. So as much as we want to see it, again, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised with some crazy changes. MG, we should start Chicho and Moose together, like a two-man front. Get all crazy with the 5-3-2 madness,
I would do
wingback madness.
I would do that with Portland.
Maybe. We'll see. Or, he's going to go 4-3-3 against those dudes and just let it rip.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go back to the 90s football 4-4-2.
Oh, yes. There's some teams in our league that are doing that again. It's coming back, people. It's back. Trust me. You'll see a few teams. They're all about that 4-4-2. And it's okay. I like it too. I'm good with it. It's vanilla. Carlos C. 4-4-2. It's the vanilla way. It's what we all know. It's what we grew up with. It's what we know how to play. We all know that system. If we've played, that's the one, right? Your classic. But if it works and you have the right guys, it's cool, man. It's cool. Things kind of come and go in football, right? Get popular, go away, get popular again. Somebody acts like they're the first to find it, and then all of a sudden, we love that guy, and then it goes away again. Just ask Pep and how things are going with him right now and his amazing system. How'd that end? There's Tony enjoying how that ended. So there you go. Good stuff, guys. Thank you for the comments. Always amazing. And this show, as we're flying through, we've hit the 129 mark, so we're kind of getting towards it here. as tradition dictates. Like I said, we're going to find a way to get some comments from us regarding the Portland match after this one. We'll figure it out, guys, to get to you. Full episode, maybe not, but we'll figure something out. So, boys, who's up for it? I think, Bam, you had the lead last time. So, Tony, guess what? You have the final comments of the day, sir.
All I have to say is be safe out there tonight because it is Cinco de Drinko. Same rules apply, St. Patrick's Day. If you need a ride, call an Uber, call a Lyft. AAA can tow your car if you need to. And be safe out there. We need you for Saturday. Hydrate that day. If you're going to be there with your mothers, you're going to have a good time anywhere you go with them. Hopefully they have seats. I don't think they should be in the north end. It's not unless your mom is that hardcore fan. That I've heard stories about that. So, but have fun. Let's get this dub and then move on to Portland and keep winning the same way. So, yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Tony. Bam, you have the floor, sir.
Final words, that Scottish team that voted no to the VAR coming in was actually Greenock Morton in the Scottish Championship. They're a fully community-owned team, and their reason behind it that they put up with was, as a community-owned club, fans are the foremost of our minds, and it is often felt that VAR has in some ways diminished the experience of watching games where it is used. So that was their reasoning behind voting no for it, which I can agree to some points. Big weekend of sports this weekend, especially here in Australia. You got the fun round of the A-League before the playoffs kick off. It's a tight race to see who wins it. You got Victory and Western United, two Victorian teams in second and third behind Melbourne City. Victory kickoff on Saturday, Western United Sunday, and City on Monday. So big weekend there. As I was saying to the boys earlier, the Central Coast Mariners are playing where Marcus Urani plays for, are playing their derby, their local rivals, Newcastle Jets. And what they've done is everyone with a member can bring as many mates as they want. And whoever brings the most mates to the game this round will end up getting a corporate box next season for a game to sit and watch. So as an incentive to get more people to the game, the clubs turned around and did that. So, which is a good thing for a small league.
That's going to be wild. I hope it pays off. Entire schools showing up, right? Something crazy like that, right? They're all my friends.
Much. Yeah, well, what it is, it's all the members got given a code to give out to all their friends to book tickets online, use this code, so whoever's used the most. Like I've seen people that said, yeah, I've got 100 codes being used as we speak type thing. So it's hopefully going to be packed out, and it's called the F3 Derby because they're on the F3 motorway.
Oh, that's fun. I like rivalries named after motorways. I just do. They seem more dignified than being stuck on a motorway. Just a thought. Good on you, Bam. Good stuff. All right, man. I think it's my turn. I got to get my comments. Here we are. So late night this Saturday. I will see you guys there. Losing my mind yet again for my beloved club. Before then, though, I'm going to make sure this time to actually show up at the Pepsi scarf and do my thing with the family. We'll have scarves up for good. We'll hashtag that bad boy, get that thing on Instagram, get it out there, and support the cause. I'd say if you guys can do that when you first get there before you go enjoy the tailgate, do that, make it happen, make it official. Let's help and get Moe's Field up and running. Now, beyond that, go enjoy the tailgate. Bring your mom to the game if you can, right? It's about the family. It's about our moms. This is that week we do it, and go have fun with the family this weekend. That's what it's about. That's the football. It's all a family in North End anyway. We'll just extend that out to the Christmas tree lane and make it happen. Food's going to be good. There's going to be a lot of stuff. I hear the prices also are kind of like 90 for 90 level at the Christmas tree lane. I guess the beer prices are lower than normal too. So I guess they're ready for a long, crazy, fun day. So go out there, make it happen. Be safe at the end of the day. So you're ready to make some noise with all of us that evening. The club's going to need it. We're playing the first place team in the East. They're going to probably be first place by the end of it anyway on their end. And that's the team we're probably chasing for the Supporter Shield, or they're chasing us. Let's be real about that. But this is the team we're going to have to duel with for the Supporter Shield. I don't think there's any way around it. That's who we're facing. So get out there, support your team, make some noise, and make it happen. To everyone, again, be safe. We love you all. We can't wait to see you there. And of course, tradition dictates the word of the day. Tony, word of the day?
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
And for me, to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.